Danny from the Famicast here, and you're watching a video review of Observer on the Nintendo Switch. Observer has been available on other platforms such as the PS4, Xbox One, and PC since the summer of 2017. Getting inspiration from movies like Blade Runner, the game has seen high praise since its release. Now, the game is out on Switch. For those that don't really know much about this game, Observer is a first-person adventure game set in a dystopian, cyberpunk futuristic version of Poland in the year 2084. Governments are dead, leaving room for corporations to rule the world. Players take control of Dan Lazarski, who works as an observer, basically a detective that has the ability to break into your thoughts to help solve crimes. Observer starts out with Dan searching for the whereabouts of his son. Controls in the game are a bit complex, but you'll get used to it after a short amount of time with the game. You control Lazarski with the left analog stick and use the right stick to look around and move a reticle that is used to help do things like open doors, cabinets, and investigate the surrounding area. Observer contains a number of basic puzzles to solve too. These range from gathering clues to figure out passcodes to open locked doors, to other creepy things like dragging around a floating, laughing TV to plug into different outlets to proceed in the game. Now, these elements really aren't that hard per se, but if you're like me, it might take a little bit of trial and error to kind of figure out where to go next. Our buddy Lazarski is equipped with a few different sensors that can help aid his investigations. Using the ZR and ZL buttons, activate a bio and electromagnetic vision sensor. Now, these things really help you track down clues that are scattered throughout the crime scenes, whether they be organic, like blood or body parts, stuff like that, or mechanical or electronic, like computers, wiring, implants, tablets, stuff like that. Now, one of the coolest ideas in Observer is the ability to essentially hack into the minds of victims or assailants, alive or dead. Now, doing this brings you into these really trippy, surreal versions of the world, as seen through the target's mind, or sometimes mixed in with things that's going on with Lazarski as well. A lot of information can be found in these sequences, as well as some of the creepiest moments that you'll find in the game. I found myself enjoying these segments the most. I never really knew what to expect going in there, which I think is a good thing. They can be incredibly strange and at the same time terrifying, but they're pretty fun and interesting too. One thing I noticed right off the bat was how slowly Lazarski moved. Unfortunately, you do have the ability to run by pressing in the left analog stick, but this really doesn't alleviate the issue. Even after initiating the run, it still feels as though Dan is kind of just power walking through the stage rather than just running. And since you'll be spending a majority of the game walking around, this will be a little bit frustrating for players. Graphically, Observer on the Switch is interesting. While the art direction in general is excellent, the game does look a little bit muddy on Nintendo's hybrid console. The character models that you'll find in the game look particularly blurry. Environments and other effects also appear to be a bit washed out. I mean, basically things just don't look really that sharp. There are also some issues with Slowdown. However, I couldn't tell if that was because the game was pushing the engine too hard, or is because of some of these trippy scenes where it was doing this type of a thing on purpose. Either way, I mean, it's not terrible or anything like that. I mean, there are plenty of other games that perform better on the platform, but Observer kind of remains in the middle of the pack on the visual side of things. The sound, though, is perhaps one of the best aspects of the game. The voice acting by Rutger Hauer as Lazarski is completely top-notch. And other audio effects mixed in with some of the visual craziness really come together nicely. While the visuals do play a big part of the experience, the conversations and overall story are what you'll want to come to Observer for. There's a lot going on here in this story, and you'll probably ask yourself multiple times, what the hell is going on here? So just be ready for that if you pick this game up. Observer on the Switch is a trippy experience that features some great sound design and art direction. The story is dark, the setting's really cool, and the game can be flat out creepy at moments. The downsides here, the graphics, like the character models and kind of environments, can be a little bit blurry, movement's a little bit slow, but it's still a good game that'll scratch any type of cyberpunky horror type of an itch. Final score for Observer on the Nintendo Switch, 7 out of 10. As always, thank you for checking out this video. If you like what you see, please feel free to give us a like. If you're new to the channel, please feel free to subscribe. We have tons of podcasts, video reviews, special videos, and a whole lot more. Again, this has been Danny from the Famicast. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.